At Stepping Stones NI, at the core of what we do is offer training for NVQ students at level 1 and level 2 to get recognised catering qualifications to help them move on into hopefully paid employment. At the moment, because of the lockdown, it's obviously difficult, but we're conscious that our trainees still need the training and need to continue their courses because the NVQ qualification is so important to them. What we've been doing for the past few weeks, and I'll be doing again tomorrow, is providing live cooking demonstration for the guys so that they can keep up with their work, working with our training officers in Lisburn and in Newton Ards. We've already seen that the guys are picking up on what we're showing them, albeit remotely, that they are cooking, they are baking, and it's brilliant to see the interest and the fact that they are continuing on with their qualifications. What we're going to do tomorrow with them is something that's very, very tasty but really simple. It's a strawberry pavlova. The most important thing with the bowl is to ensure that there's no grease or oil in it at all. It must be completely clean, otherwise the egg whites will just not whip up. First thing first, egg white into the mixer and turn that on. The egg whites are now at what's called the soft peak stage, where they're basically just set. If you were to lift the bowl out, traditionally what you do is hold it upside down, and if the egg whites are beaten properly, they're not going to fall on your head. I'm not going to get into those sort of stuff. Start this again slowly and start to incorporate the sugar. Basically just a spoonful at a time until it's all mixed in. At this point I will add 1 teaspoon of corn flour. That will just stabilise the mixture. It's always a good thing to put into egg whites if you make a meringue or anything like that. And also then a teaspoon of balsamic. I think it's always worth cooking gluten-free when possible. There's no reason for using malt vinegar. You can also use a white wine vinegar as well. So just one final mix to incorporate everything. And that is the pavlova mix made. To cook this on, I've got a baking sheet with some baking parchment now. To stop the parchment from moving around, just put a little dab of the mixture under the paper and that will hold it in place. What I'm then going to do is put the pavlova mix out onto that, just let it flow. You can see it's really, really silky. It'll find its own way. That is the pavlova on the tray ready to go. Just to recap on the recipe, you can scale this up or down whatever way you want. This one is 6 egg whites, and for each egg white you put 2 ounces or 58 grams of sugar. And basically if you multiply it up you can make it whatever size you want. I'm going to put this in the oven now. It's preheated to 180 degrees. I leave it in the oven with the oven running for 8 minutes. Then I turn the oven off and leave it until the oven's cool and it will be cooked. Why I like doing this, you get a really, really soft, mallowy inside to the pavlova and only just set a crust on the outside. I don't think it's nice when it's really, really hard and dried out. It's the difference for me between meringue and pavlova, and this recipe has never failed. And that's the pavlova base just out of the oven. Ran it for 8 minutes at 180 degrees, then turned the oven off and left it completely until it cooled down. The cream is pretty straightforward. It's 250 millilitres of whipping cream. To that I'm going to add just a little bit of icing sugar. And for flavour, to make what's called chantilly cream, just a couple of drops of vanilla extra. I think that flavour just enhances the whole pavlova and goes well, particularly with the fruit. After that, get the mixer in and beat the cream. Beaten enough. I don't want it to go too far. I'm not piping the cream, but I do want it to be able to support the fruit once it goes into the pavlova. The next bit's slightly scary. Get it from here on to here. The easiest way to do it is get the serving plate, hold it over, and quickly but carefully do that. The beauty of having used the baking parchment is that it genuinely is non-stick and it will come off the pavlova, giving you a nice flat surface to decorate. Obviously you can top your pavlova with whatever you would like. In my case I'm just going to use some strawberries and some blueberries. And then what I'll do is have each of the strawberries. Will help present them better on the pavlova. That's ready to go. So the finishing touches. The cream onto the top. Fairly generous. Work it out to the edges without going over. And the fruit, do whatever you want. I just want to make sure that everybody who has a slice of this gets plenty of fruit. I think there's nothing worse than seeing a pavlova that's been done where someone's been miserable with the fruit. The actual dish itself is very simple, relatively inexpensive, and really the cost that there is in this is in the cream and the fruit. And I'll do that again with some blueberries that I had. You can use anything, kiwi fruit, passion fruit's really good if you have it sort of squeezed and dripped all over the top. It's all about colours, and what's quite good with the blueberries is that because this is a very sweet dessert with so much sugar, cream and so on, the sharpness of the blueberries really tends to cut through it quite well. The final stage for me is just a little bit of garnish. I've got some dark chocolate and just a potato peeler. You can grate this, you can do whatever you want with it. I just happen to like the little flakes, the chips of dark chocolate that you get when you use a peeler. And I just want to have it so that it contrasts with the cream. And let's see if you put a wee bit of care and attention into the thing. If you're going to do it properly. And that's about it. The finished pavlova, ready for your guests.